Cancer. How's it going? This is your October 1st through the 7th tarot, weekly tarot. And I had to change things around. I needed to use my office for something else. So I put my office in my room. And I need to paint the back of my bookcases, so I apologize for that. But otherwise, it's working out pretty good. So, come so far. I got to really get to know. Weird. Thank you for letting me get to know some of you. It was really a pleasure and an honor for your comments, and I got to see your heart, and I love that. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to do 2 oracle cards, and then we're going to do the rest in tarot. We'll clarify where we can. I already pulled your card so I get the feel of the reading. This card right here is Metamorphosis, and you probably know this. This is reversed. So this is 25, which is a 7. So Metamorphosis reversed is about, okay, you know you're going through these changes. There's been some big shifts in your life, you know, separations and just different major things that have happened, major situations where you've had to change the way you thought about it, pull yourself out of situations, just step back and try to look at things in a different perspective. Well, what's happening here is your new life is emerging. You're basically going from the caterpillar to the butterfly. So it feels, what am I doing here? You know, like uncomfortable and growing pains and stuff like that. But it's because your new life is emerging. And so it's kind of exciting but kind of scary. That's what's going on right now. Okay? All right, and then we'll get more, of course, in a little while. So, and then the mirror guardian. Oh, and also Metamorphosis. It's just about being patient and seeing what's next on the path, and you'll know what to take there. Okay? So the mirror guardian here. And this is the angels and ancestors. They talk about take time to reflect on how far you've come and look at your strengths. How did you get through this? What did you rely on? And that part of you, your angels and ancestors want you to know that they see that. They see how strong you've been and how you stood in your truth, okay? And how you've pulled yourself up by those strengths. And that's hang on a second. There's something else. To believe in yourself. Okay. Believe in yourself by reflecting on where you've come, looking at your strengths. See how far you've come. That should give you, it should give you strength to see that you're capable of the road that you're taking. You're capable of your desires, the things you want, the paths that you want to take. Okay, so we'll get more information. Okay, so we're over on the side of the Metamorphosis. Okay, so it's kind of a waiting game. In the meantime, reflection, right, on your strengths and who you are, who you've become, how far you've come, how strong you truly are. Okay, so we have Ace of Fire, which is the Ace of Wands, and this is incredible because in your Metamorphosis, you get a brand new start, brand new passion, brand new life. I mean, it could be enterprise, it could be anything that's passionate. Job, inspiration, it can be love, it can be, I mean, just a passion for life again. Instead of wondering why it's happening or trying to see, you actually get to move into the energy. That's what the metamorphosis is about. You finding passion for life in general, about your life, not about other people that have kind of infringed on your life. Does that make sense? Or affected your life. Okay. So then we have the Nine of Air, which is the Nine of Swords. So this is a card that is about worry and like not being able to sleep at night. But, excuse me, I'm an air sign, so I'm a Gemini, Sun, and Ascending. But the Nine of Air, sometimes to people like Geminis, it's about processing information. Okay, it's not always about just being so troubled and up at night. Sometimes the processing does involve you being up late and processing, but so this is what I'm getting for the message for you. Try to relax and understand that it's processing. And to try to stay in the positive. What is this teaching me? What am I seeing here? And release anything that starts to feel bad. Okay, that, like we were saying, that wasn't about me. And focusing on the negative things will not bring, it'll bring more negative. I know that you know that. Okay. So, but processing, being up sometimes and able to sleep, give yourself a break. You've had a lot to process. That's part of the changing, okay? So I don't want you to just focus on that and get worried because as a person that processes tons of information, it's not such a bad place. It's just processing, okay? All right. So Eight of Fire now is Eight of Wands, and this is the Wands of, this is swift movement, swift changes. It could be contact by somebody, interaction between people. They say it can be the arrow of love, but I'm not, maybe you're having a lot of interactions with different people. Great. I'm not seeing necessarily that there's love coming, or we're just kind of getting things. It feels like it's more about you finding your own passion and going through your change. And so, not to say we're not attractive or see people we like or whatever, but it feels like this process is about you. That's why you're redirected, because this is about you getting stable in your life. And unshakable is what I'm hearing. Unshakable, unstoppable. Okay, your foundation within your own self, strong, Okay. All right, so next we have the Chariot. This is the direction that you're going to be going in. You're going in a direction. You know where you want to go. Maybe you're not even sure exactly the route, but you want to go to your happiness. You want peace. The important things, right? But right now we're reversed. So right now you're still in that holding pattern while you're in that chrysalis, while you're being redesigned, so to speak, okay? It's kind of a holding pattern. But it gives you time to absorb what's going on. It gives you time to do some more processing. This is more processing, more air, more swords, okay? So this is a Six of Swords. This is not being able to go in the direction yet because it's not time yet. This means you want to move towards, you want to move forward. You feel like, why am I still here? And if you're still here thinking about, well, you are thinking about because we have you processing. Why is this person still in my head? Why is this situation still in my head? It might be about you needing to shift the thoughts so you can sit above it, maybe see the bigger picture in it. Kind of how this, whatever happened, is redirecting you into a place of, what am I doing with my life, and is this what I want to do, is this how I want to live, and asking the questions so Cancer can find what Cancer wants. It's kind of time, right? It's time to really consider what you want. So the holding pattern is a good time to use that stuck energy to really identify who Cancer wants to be. What is Cancer's strength? And reflect how far you've come. So you can get past some of this, I think it's like worrying about if you can do it. So you can build your self-confidence. It's a confidence, a self-esteem. You know you're worthy, right? You know that. Because I know that you know that. We're just not used to acting that way. And while we're here, while we're processing, when did I give away my power? How did I get here? That's important. So when we see the same situations, we go, I know what that is. I remember then. The red flags, not only to warn us against other people, but to remind us of where we gave away our power in the past. Does that make sense? Okay. So now we have the Two of Swords reversed. So where the times that we couldn't make a decision because we felt blind or felt off balance. Well, if this and this and this and this, by knowing where you stand and how far you've come, where your truth is, and where you gave away your power, and what you will not tolerate again, you won't vacillate to the point where it's just indecision. You will know what to do, and you just go in and do it. I think you understand what I'm saying, because I kind of feel like you do. It's a no-brainer. Oh, I don't think so. That's it. I already decided what I want. I decided where the line was going to be crossed. If that happened again, and it's about setting boundaries, okay? Boundaries. Clear, defined boundaries of what you're willing to, what you want in your life, what's important for you, and because your goals matter too, right? Where you want to go matters. So, okay. Now, we're on the Mirror Guardian side. Take time to reflect. This is the Two of Water reversed. So this is kind of the soulmate or somebody you're really close to, family. And what happened in that situation? Yeah, we know about the painful actions, and we do know that was about this other person, but why were we there with this person? What did we see in this person that was fulfilling something we thought we were missing in us, or something that we were trying to fix from our past, you see? So, of course, it's never our fault when people do things against us. It is their choice to not be faithful. And it is their choice, their actions are their choices. But sometimes our actions got us there. And so that's just something to look at, because this was so painful that it caused us to change, cause a metamorphosis. That's still reflecting and seeing how we can do things better. What didn't we see at what time? Identifying those. And that's part of all that processing, all the thinking. That's using the thinking in a constructive way instead of beating ourselves up. Does that make sense? And shifting when it starts getting negative and going, nope, I'm not going down there. It does not serve me to go down that negative road. Okay. Accepting the facts as they are. Trying to understand our part in it. thinking about what we would do different. By doing that, it releases the worry and the burden. This is the Ten of Wands. This is the end of the cycle, this kind of cycle. Okay? And then knowing our strengths. How do we stand up and just blow our own minds? How we stood up. Okay? Having the strength we didn't even know we could have. You didn't know you could have. And the insight that you didn't even understand you knew until you were there. And then you thought, wow, I kind of knew that. Okay. So now we have the Hermit. And the Hermit is about retreating to process the information. It's all about the processing, right? It's funny because I read the card and then I pick up the next one and it's there. And I love when that happens. So the Hermit says, here's what happened. What are we going to do to change this? Because this is the 9 in the Major Arcana. The next card in the Major Arcana is the Wheel of Fortune. So that's when your fate can change. When you process the information to go and incorporate it in your life, make the changes you need to have the life you want, then your fate does change. Okay. So, 7 of Fire. This is beautiful. 7 of Fire is a 7 of Wands. This is talking about what are you going to defend? Your strengths. You looked at your strengths with the Mirror Guardian, looking at how far you've come. Now, what is your truth and what are you willing to defend? Cancer. What do you want to defend? Okay? And that's just it. And the other one is a 3 of Fire. Okay, this is 3 of your Wands. This is the card where you took action, you live your life, and by living a certain way, you create abundance to come back to you. This is your abundance coming back to you. This is how this is working this process. So sorry. Does it bring this? Woo! Helps the abundance come back to you. Okay. How? Gotcha. It's by making the necessary changes, incorporating the lessons, moving forward with those lessons, and your integrity and your strengths, using your strengths to create a better life. And it's good for all, you know. It's empowering yourself in a good way, in a positive way. Not about a personal agenda at other people's expense. It's a good for all. Because it's honest and open. It's integrity, right? It's Cancer. It's you. So, the last card here is a 9 of Fire. Just looking, you've got a lot of fire here. I'll point it out in a minute. So, the 9 of Fire reverse talks about it's time to consider not fighting other people's battles. And it's different if it's a child and you're defending them. That's different, of course. Or somebody that cannot defend themselves. That's different. But this is about fighting other people's demons. They got their own demons. That's their contract, their thing to fight. Okay? I mean, you can try, but it's fighting something that has really nothing to do with you. Unless it's direct interaction with them. And then you can decide by setting your boundaries or what you're willing to stand up for, what you're willing to defend. And it is easy to defend somebody that is walking with you in truth. And you can face things together, but you don't have to fight their fight, you see. That's the difference. You walk with somebody, you make the changes together. Or you do that with family or with your children, and sometimes we make decisions for our children, but the children have a lot of power, and they use their power. And if we listen to them, then they get a big part in the decisions because they're pretty wise too. But setting boundaries on, are you willing to fight people's battles when they are not willing to fight them themselves? Whose battle is it? And if that person is not willing to fight it, maybe it doesn't bother them. It's not their problem. It's just your problem, you see, because you want to change something they don't really care about. Interesting, huh? Okay. Whew. So, do a couple more cards. Let's see where we're at. 20 minutes. We'll do a couple of Amente cards, because that was a lot of stuff, huh? So this is the next step in the process. It's important. And all this stuff, processing, it's normal. At least this Gemini thinks so. So, okay. You ready? I consume only my fair share. Let's see if I can, there you go. So this card talks about the devil energy. Not to feed it. There's no point in it. Addiction, ego. It's just about, and see her third eye here is lit up to balance, you know. When we have balance, we don't go into those things. Those things, addictions, obsession, ego isn't so attractive because we know it'll throw us off balance, right? Okay. And so to engage with others in this energy also throws us off balance. I communicate with compassion. Yes. As quickly as we can. It's hard when you've been hurt and people purposely, it feels like they purposely hurt you. Having compassion for where they're at in their life, even though that's not where we're at and we wouldn't have taken those actions at the time, trying to have compassion if they come back and try to make things right. But holding the line, what's good for Cancer? Is this something I can do again? I'm not saying they're going to come back with this, but for some reason I need to say that to you. You may be thinking, if they come back, what can I deal with? That's setting the boundaries. That's understanding who you are and how far you've come. And are you willing to go back there? So, and that's also about not fighting other people's battles when they aren't willing to fight them. Okay? And the last one is, I honor animals with reverence. Animals with reverence. So, this card to me speaks of honoring all things, respecting all things. So, and somehow this energy is going to help us, you Cancer, understand the people that are not acting in the way, maybe the people that you've had these situations with. I'm not saying look at them as animals, but understand that they have their reasons in their mind for doing things in the way that they do them. It could be like instinct. It could be like automatic. It could be a certain amount of programming from when they were children. It could be them trying to escape work, things they need to deal with, and they just can't. So they just go through the motions like an instinct, like animals do. Okay? We know that a snake is going to probably crawl on the floor. And sometimes when people are in a certain place emotionally, spiritually, or with addictions and stuff like that, they do act in certain ways, and that's just the way it is. And again, that if we communicate with them to try to have compassion, because two wrongs don't make a right. And if we engage in any kind of behavior, ego, try to put them down, then we are actively kind of lowering ourselves. And I'm not saying that these people are low. It's a difference in vibration. And I know you understand that. The difference in vibration is Higher vibration, it's just going to feel more peaceful. Lower vibration is going to feel more unsettling, out of balance, you know, like, oh, you know, it's edgy, it's makes your stomach upset, it makes your head hurt, it makes your back hurt, that kind of thing. Okay. So it's disease is dis-ease. It's the lack of ease. Okay. It's a difference in vibration and many other things, you know, but that's an example. So thank you. And thank you for all your beautiful comments. You guys are awesome. Have a good week, okay? Take care.